Hey guys, Jessica here. I got a question about what a recruiter actually does in their job. So I thought I would actually talk about that and just discuss what a typical recruiter does on a day-to-day basis, and also what people actually do in the HR field. So the big thing about recruiting is, at a high level, recruiters are working to help companies fill positions or find talent that they need to keep the business running or operating or to help the business grow. So, I think it's really crucial to have recruiters to help you if you're looking to find people, especially in a job market that is relatively difficult. And I mean difficult by just the idea of economics, right? So if there's more supply than demand, that's typically maybe a good scenario for a company. So if there's high supply of talented people looking for jobs, but low demand, that's a great standing for the company. So it will be easier to find talent because you're going to have people, knocking on the door trying to find a job. So think back to here in the United States, we had in 2008, 2012, like that was a market where there were a lot of people looking for jobs. So companies really had their pick of talent. Now we have a market where there's really low unemployment, like pretty much between a 3.5 and a 4.5 in most places across the United States. Now there are some industries in different areas where there is higher unemployment. There's different segments of the population that has higher unemployment, but generally it's a pretty good job market. So what you have is a low supply of talent and a high demand for talented people, especially in certain sectors like healthcare and technology. I mean, we've seen this growing, digital and e-commerce or some other areas where there's a lot of demand for talent. So what recruiters actually help companies do is actually brand the company in a way that will attract great talent. So they may do this online by building a presence across different media platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook or Glassdoor, different places where talented people may go to maybe research information about a company or find out how the company generally treats its people or, kind of how they're growing and things like that. So they'll do that online in those spaces, but then also recruiters will actually go to different events or go to college campuses and actually help with company branding and informing people about the company and job offerings and why it's such a great place to work in person with people. So actually going out and talking with people, talking with potential students that could work there, and that's a lot of what recruiters will do from a branding standpoint. Another thing that recruiters will actually do is proactively reach out to candidates to basically kind of gauge interests from people that maybe are searching for jobs or maybe they're not searching for jobs right now, and actually talk to them about what their interests are and see if current openings with the company actually match their interests. They'll also sell the company, so there's definitely kind of a sales proponent to the recruitment role. So if a candidate's telling me that they want a place with really great work-life balance, well, I'm going to tell them, if my company has a great work-life balance, I'm going to tell them about it, and I'll tell them kind of the things that I feel like from what they tell me might make them a really good match. So they'll do that. They'll also work with candidates throughout a recruitment process and work with hiring managers throughout a recruitment process. And I can definitely go into more details about what a recruitment cycle looks like. But generally, if you think about the company kind of realizing, oh, we need this person, we need a technical architect, and we need them right now. Okay, so we've got to kind of brand the position. We've got to manage applicant flow, like how many people are going to apply, communication with those people, garnering some interest with potential talent, and then actually kind of helping with figuring out who you would actually like to move forward with interviewing, managing that interview process up into extending an offer to someone. So a lot of things happen within that process, but really quick, that's what a recruiter will really manage for a company. Now, a recruiter typically is not going to just have 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5 openings. Most likely, most recruiters will have about 15 to 20 to 25 openings, and that's if they have other projects that they're working on. If you have a high kind of, I'll say, rec load or job load, then you would have more like maybe 50 to 100 job openings that you're managing. So it just depends on the type of recruiter you are, if you're working at a staffing agency or if you're working in-house, the type of work environment, things like that, and then other projects that you're managing. So that's what a recruiter does. I've also worked as a human resources generalist, someone that manages HR projects. I have been a project manager before. I've worked on a little pause for my outside noise living in New York. I've also worked on diversity and inclusion efforts. A lot of these things is what someone that works in human resources will help. Overall, someone working within the human resources field as a generalist or maybe a business partner, at the end of the day, they are helping meet business needs, but also helping to make sure that employees are having a good work experience, and at the end of the day, kind of meeting that balance and making, I guess you could say, making improvements to help satisfy the employees and help the company grow at the same time. So I think I could talk more about that in a different video. There's so many different areas that you can work within human resources management, but since I had gotten this question on Reddit from someone I was kind of going back and forth with, I thought I would make a video. I was wondering, maybe other people are interested in becoming a recruiter, or maybe you're like a job applicant or a candidate and you're just like, what in the heck does a recruiter do? What should I expect for a recruiter? From a candidate perspective, I would expect for a recruiter to help you, communicate what's going on with a job opening, communicate what they know about the job opening itself and the team and the company, so that you're really prepared and you understand kind of what you're getting into. They should be helping provide information with just how the recruitment process at that company you're applying to actually works. What's timing, is it typically pretty standard that they have 1 interview or 3 interviews, and kind of help you with that. And then something else that I do as a recruiter is I actually talk to candidates and I provide interview preparation to them if they would like it. So I will actually talk to them about just the process, give them tips for their interview experience, and then also, ask them any kind of questions, see where they're at, how they're feeling, if they feel prepared, if there's anything I can do to help with making it an easier process for them. Something else that I'll do is actually ask them if they need any kind of reasonable accommodations for the interview process. Being in an environment that is an inclusive workplace, that's really important. And then just throughout the process, just making sure that they are communicated with. So whether that is the unfortunate news of, you didn't get the role, but, let's kind of stay in touch and figure out other options, to you did get the role and here's the offer that we're presenting. The recruiter is really your number one person that is going to be working with you. They're going to be presenting you to the hiring team. They're going to be the ones communicating with you throughout the full process. So they're really your advocate. And so I really do feel like it's really important to garner a really good relationship with your recruiter, because they're going to be the one that's advocating for you and also helping you throughout the process. If they're not doing that, they should be doing that. So that's kind of generally what a recruiter does and what a recruiter actually can help a candidate with if they're searching for a job. Something else real quick I feel like recruiters can do is actually help with, kind of guiding your path if you're figuring out maybe a career transition, or maybe you're just trying to figure out what you even want to do and how you can use your past skills. They should be able to listen to, you talk about your experience and what your interests are, and from there give advice on how you can use your experience and where it can take you. I actually had a person talk with me. This was a couple weeks ago, but she reached out on LinkedIn and she was just kind of exploring a executive administrative role. But I got her on the phone, and after talking with her, she had some really great experience within human resource management and also operations management, and actually told her, like, hey, I mean, you could go into the administrative route, but from everything you told me and everything that you actually like doing, I think you'd be a really good match as an operations manager, office manager, or actually transitioning in HR. So we actually had a really good conversation about kind of the career track within HR and within operations management, which really helped her. And I think it helped her see that she could definitely, find a job beyond the executive administrative role that she was initially looking at. So that's something else that a recruiter can really help you with. So anyway, this video is getting a little long, so I will let you guys go, but thank you for watching. Of course, it's Jessica here, corporate recruiter, and if this video is valuable to you, give me a like and a comment and subscribe. See you guys later.